Last but not least, baby, grand finale. I'm pumped about this one. Big 12 tiers coming in hot. If you know this show, you know this segment. This is not a ranking. Rather, this is just purely how we're processing this conference ahead of 2025. But we'll start with the base level tier. This just feels bad. It does. Arizona, I love you. I do, but you lost your best player, and last year wasn't that awesome. Okay, same thing. UCF, you lost your head coach. Didn't fire your head coach. Lost your head coach after a not-so-awesome year a year ago, and he's now in the same state as a coordinator. I don't see the arrow pointing up. Just feels bad. Next tier, it would be just like the Big 12. Wouldn't it? Because last year, Arizona State won the Big 12 after being picked to finish last in the preseason. I don't know if these teams are being picked to finish last necessarily. We'll see how the media views it here post-media days. But West Virginia, be a little bit frisky, make some noise, country roads, gets pop. I'm just saying I could see it with what they are out there. Houston, Connor Wegman was a 5-star. He's back home cooking around the friends. Maybe, just maybe, you get a different level of Connor Wegman than you got at Texas A&M. Maybe the quarterback makes the difference. Cincinnati, very quietly, top 15 and returning production. Never say that a good continuity. So Cincinnati, they could definitely make some noise, but I'm not putting them up in the top tier, but it would be just like the Big 12 if one of those teams were to pop. Now, here's arguably one of my favorite tiers we've done so far during these tier segments. This tier is called Movie Death. I've made this comp a few times on different shows, but I want to reiterate it. Anytime you see somebody die, putting die in air quotes there for everyone on podcast, in a movie, they're not actually dead unless you see a body, which sounds morbid, but like take Lord of the Rings, for example. Gandalf the Grey falls off the cliff into the abyss. He's gone, right? No. Didn't see a body. He's just movie dead. Comes back, Gandalf the White, and you're off and running. The movie death, to me, category is Utah, Kansas, Oklahoma State. Last year wasn't great. It wasn't awesome. But I'm too much faith in every single one of those head coaches in this tier to believe they're actually just going to stay as a bottom feeder in the conference. Like Utah, that's a 1 of 1 for Kyle Whittingham. There's not going to be another year where he has that bad of a season. Devin Dampier now, or Isaac Wilson, depending on where you lean in the quarterback battle out there in Salt Lake City, plus the defense they're going to have with just Kyle Whittingham being your head coach, they're going to be in a good spot. Lance Leipold in Kansas, Jalen Daniels, maybe this is the year. All right, maybe this is the year. That's all I'll say. Oklahoma State, Mike Gundy, he's a man. He's well past 40, but I'm just like, I don't see a world where they win 3 games again. I don't see that happening. In fact, it's not going to happen. I can guarantee you right now. I mean, it hasn't happened the entirety of his career. The entirety of his career, he's pretty much been an 8+ win kind of coach. Oklahoma State, I don't see a world where they stay down. So those are the teams that people are maybe saying they're dead, they're this, they're that. No, that's a movie death. I don't see a body. I'm not saying any of those teams are out just yet. Now, this is a team that's in a tier of their own. That's Colorado. Let's not pretend like any of us actually know how to assess a Deion Sanders coached football team just yet. We don't. I wish we did. It'd be a lot easier for us on this side of the show to sound smart and talk about it in an articulate way, an intelligent way, but we don't, dude. Caden Salter, I think, is going to start for you at quarterback. I think he has a tremendous ceiling for what he could be out there in Boulder in that offense. The weapons they have, I think, are maybe less known, but still some dogs on the perimeter. The defense in the secondary, you would think, as long as Deion Sanders is there, will continue to ascend. A tier of their own. Let's not pretend we know what Colorado is, because we don't. And also the way that they are approaching the transfer portal, the way they're not approaching the transfer portal, I should say, they feel better about their roster. No Shador, no Travis. That's not ideal, but I don't think it's a coincidence now that they're not trying to add more talent as heavily as they were in previous years. Why? Because you feel good about your talent at home. I've got a feeling. That's the next tier I want to unpack together. Kind of like the Black Eyed Peas song. Just got a feeling, right? Some of it I can explain, some of it I can't. But TCU, Texas Tech, Kansas State, I like these teams, dude. I like what they have. Texas Tech, number 1 portal class right now in America, and putting good money into it. Baron Morton, still the quarterback there for you. TCU with Josh Hoover, balled out last year. Kansas State, if y'all watch this show, you know I'm extremely high on the best lettuce in college football, which is Kansas State and Avery Johnson at quarterback for them. I got a feeling about him, man. Got a feeling about him. Now, the top tier for us in this discussion for the Big 12 is the tier that I can most easily explain, the I can explain it tier. I can point to Arizona State, Baylor, Iowa State, and BYU and tell you why they're going to win the conference. Arizona State did it last year. Kenny Dillingham's arguably the best coach in the conference, depending on how you want to talk about the Big 12 right now. Right now, maybe the best coach in the conference. Sam Leavitt, I don't think is a stretch to say he's the best quarterback in the conference. You say the same thing about Sawyer Robertson. I think a lot of people forget Dave Aranda. He's got a Big 12 title to his name. Sawyer Robertson, I mean, he lit it up last year with a top 10 QBR in America, bringing back 70% of that production on offense last year that scored over 30 a game. Baylor could be frisky. I can explain them being a team that wins the whole conference. Iowa State, 2 names, Rocco Becht, Matt Campbell. We move on. Kalani Sitake and BYU, like, they're going to be feisty every single year. I mean, like, I can explain those teams. All good rosters, all well coached, all should be solid at quarterback. So to recap it for us here, the Big 12 tiers that I see right now just feels bad for Arizona and UCF. Hate to say it. It would be very much like the Big 12 for West Virginia to pop or Houston to pop or Cincy to pop. I could see it. I don't see any of these teams staying down. I think it's a movie death. Utah, Kansas, Oklahoma State. I'm not buying it until I actually see a body. Not to be morbid, but like that's kind of how movie deaths work. They're not actually gone until you see them physically no longer in the movie. Tier their own. We don't know Colorado. Let's not pretend like we do. I've got a feeling around Texas, TCU, and Kansas State, and then I can explain to you Arizona State, Baylor, Iowa State, and BYU. The whole conference in itself is going to be awesome. It's going to be chaotic. It has picked up where the old Pac-12 left off, and we are all the way here for it. Those are our Big 12 tiers.